Hello, I'm Stu Marcy, the creator of Class Quiver, and this video is to help you to download and install Class Quiver on your machine so that you can start to revolutionize your classroom with Class Quiver. So let's begin. First of all, you're going to go to classquiver.com, and that's where you can get the software. Right now, right on the home page, there is a button to get a free beta version for Windows. And this web page might change over time, but there will always be a way to get a version downloaded. So I'm going to click on this button here. And as you can see, it is downloading. I'm using Edge at the moment, so that's what it looks like when you download an Edge. And if you're on Chrome, then it might look like there'd be something going on in the bottom left-hand corner. So what we're doing is downloading a zip file. And the zip file contains 3 files, and we're going to open them up. By default, I think mine opens up with Windows Explorer. Some people use other, unzip programs, and that would be okay. When it's all done, you can see it was pretty fast download. We're going to open it up, and there are 3 files, as you can see, inside of this zip file we downloaded. And the first one is an install tips. I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to open this up and use that as our guide. I'm going to zoom in on this for you. All right, so here's my notes for you. I think there's some pretty important parts to this. First of all, it's a standalone application written only for Microsoft Windows right now. The setup exe file is the installer you're going to run. It will check for any missing prerequisites that need to be installed, such as any .NET framework. It will then run Class Quiver MSI, that's your Microsoft installer. Now, although this version has been digitally signed and the publisher, me, is known, Windows Defender might still consider it to be an unrecognized app. And if that's the case, or maybe you have some other program like Windows Defender to warn you about unrecognized apps. And if that's the case, you're going to get a warning screen, maybe, and it'll say something like, you want more info. Click on that, and then you'll see the chance to do an install anyway. Now, the installation directory for this beta version, Class Quiver, will default to the root of your Windows volume, C Class Quiver. And once it's all installed, by the way, you'd be able to move the entire folder to other locations and run it from that folder. If you change the location, make sure that you have full read and write privileges. One more important thing here, and that's that Class Quiver can run out of your OneDrive. And I should say OneDrive for Windows, not the OneDrive online, which has a web address. You're going to have a local address starting out with a drive letter like C or D. And that's what I mean by OneDrive for Windows. So, but what that will allow you to do is to run it from different devices. And you can also share it with your substitute teacher. And this would give you the advantages of a web app without requiring a reliable internet connection. So it still runs locally, even if you get disconnected from the web. Okay? So I'm going to close this and go ahead and run the setup exe. Setup exe will look for any missing prerequisites. Here's that window I was telling you about. Windows Defender doesn't recognize this yet. They assure me that it will soon. But you can see that I am the publisher and this is legit. So run anyway. Okay, here we go. I'm going to run this. And here is where you could put your OneDrive folder. And to illustrate that, I'm going to go to my OneDrive here and Class Quiver. I'm just going to click up here in my address. Notice it starts out with the C:\. Okay, this is a local drive for all intents and purposes. So I'm going to copy that, and then I can put this right in here, and then I would install it to my OneDrive, and then I could run it from other devices that you have OneDrive on. Again, OneDrive for Windows. All right, I think I'm just going to put this back to just the default, which is class Quiver, C:\class Quiver, and install it. And it's a very quick install. You get this warning message that you say yes to, and then it gets installed as quick as that. All right, I'm going to close it, and now I'm going to test this out to see if it runs. So I'm just going to search for class Quiver. Hey, it found it. You know what I like to do is I like to pin it to my start menu. And that way, when you just click the start button, it's right here on your start menu. Another thing I like to do is I like to pin it to my taskbar. So now it's down on my taskbar because I'm going to be running it every day. Now let's just open it to make sure it works. And then it's loading up, and there it is by default. It's all loaded up. You see, I actually changed the background on this one. You probably would see a color initially, and you can see I've got a birthday student. But anyway, for purposes of this lesson, you could, if you had this already installed, also check for updates. So under help, you can go check for updates, and it says that the current version is the same as the latest version available, so we are up to date. Now, if you did find a new version and you downloaded it and installed it, it would perform as an update should. Anytime you uninstall Class Quiver, you should be assured that none of your data files would disappear. For example, the pictures and the seat arrangement, a point system if you have it, background, picture set, all these things would all be saved. You should not worry about them. Okay, thank you, and good luck installing your version of Class Quiver.